Uh, Pretty good, but I just have a sore throat. I guess the allergies are going around here.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, there's winter allergies.
Oh yeah. Are you still getting attacked and targeted at night?
Oh yeah,
Did that happen last night too?
barely slept.
Yeah, I kind of guessed that. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Was it directed energy weapons attacks or other?
Uh,
Oh,
I'm I'm assuming so, but I just couldn't get to sleep at all last night. Kept waking up after an hour or two and being forced to stay awake.
I know it's really rough. Well, let me introduce Nusken. I did a little bit before you came on. This is the first time I've ever gone live, believe it or not. I've always pre-recorded. But I wanted to do the chat and I wanted to just see how it worked out. I'm trying to get the chat up, which can you see a chat?
Uh, Not on my end, no. I go on YouTube and see if there is, but that's the only way I'd be able to see the chat through Zoom, I think.
Yeah, it looks like I can't see the chat either. So I'm not sure. The when I did a couple of trial runs before this, I did see the chat, but I don't see the chat now. So I'm not sure how that happened. Anyway, we can assume we've got people, and I'll keep trying to turn it on because I really want to see. All I see is participants, you and me, and host tools for participants. The chat, it says the chat's on, but I don't see the chat. Um,
Um,
Reaction settings. Yeah, it says the chat is on. Well, I'll keep working on it. Oh, there's my share button. Let's see if it's in the more settings. Okay. Well, I'll keep working on it. So I wanted to introduce you. I got, some of this from your Facebook. I also got it from Julia Anchorhaven, who just interviewed you. And I know maybe after I go through this, you could define some of these terms. Some people on here will know and some people won't. So Nusken, also Riley Nusk, is a verified Kruger ranked agent, ACIO confirm, an Ibis Theta Echo survivor. So far, so good. Got it right. Served
yeah,
in
but
not.
oh, sorry.
That's
Just
okay.
it was mostly knock off and with where all my secondaries served. Only one of them was Kruger, actively employed by Kruger. The rest were Knockwaffen or YNK, the Japanese equivalent.
Can you turn up your volume? Maybe other people are hearing it, but to me it's kind of low, but uh
Is
so
it working now?
yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah, served in
Okay.
Knockwaffen, Kruger, remote viewed secret SRA sites in USA and Canada. You have knowledge of German breakaways and insights into the Matrie War, MAITRE.
Yeah, I did have quite a bit come in, but after September it got cut off. I'm not sure what's currently happening with that.
Um, okay, so a lot of us do I understand what a super soldier is and the secret space program. Can you kind of explain how this started for you? For most of us, including myself, it started in childhood because that's sort of the basis of the secret space program is abducting children and then MKultra traumatizing them. Can you start at the beginning and kind of fill us in on how they got you, why they got you, and what it was like?
Uh, I'll start off my dad's side. My great opa was in the Luftwaffe during the Second World War, and that's I guess how it got the attention of what was then known as the Honolulu Project, because yeah, from what I can gather, there's not much historical documents. Most of it's been destroyed or kept under wraps. But from what I can gather, my great opa, from whatever documents I could find, he ended up in well. One instance, he came up in Yugoslavia as a frontline soldier, and then after that, then he transitioned into the Luftwaffe, got trained as a pilot, sent to the Battle of Kursk, rammed out of the sky by a Soviet fighter plane, and then ended up in the Honolulu Project.
This is your uncle?
Great Opa, my great grandpa on my dad's side.
He died in a Soviet, he was in a plane.
He got rammed out of the sky, but he survived.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so yeah, your heritage. They're usually going to they're going to abduct children from royal, aristocratic, powerful bloodlines, also telepathic, psychic. It sounds like we know one of your past lives was pretty powerful. So was there that bloodline for you, the aristocratic bloodline?
Um, I'm not sure of this lifetime, but mom's side had Jesuits and Jehovah's Witnesses. Dad's side had uh, I don't think it was royalty, but I when I did look up Polish state archives after 1945 when they took over Silesia and Pomerania, they took over the German records and then transferred to Warsaw. The Soviets didn't transfer to NKVD. And from what I could find, there's one record that came up with my last name during the 7 Years' War. I think Treaty of Breslau. Apparently, one of my ancestors might have actually negotiated it.
So where were you living? I know you're in Canada now, correct?
Oh yeah,
We're in not Calgary. Where was it?
no, it is Calgary.
Calgary. Okay. So when you were, I'm assuming you were abducted as a child. Where were you and who were you living with, if I'm correct?
Uh, Winnepeg and my mom and my grandpa on my mom's side.
And do you remember the abduction or however um they took you? How would you describe it?
Uh, Not from when I was like younger for the Ibis, but uh, later on when I was 9, I do remember being abducted. This would have been
What,
spring 2003, right around the same time of the Iraqi war.
how old were you?
9.
And do you remember the details of the abduction? Where you were, what you were doing when they came?
I was in bed. It was overnight. Saw a gray Zeta Reticuli or maybe one of those ICC clone aliens pop into my bedroom. Stared at
So
me.
you had
That was
Grays and ICC to show up in your bedroom when you were 9?
one of the two, but I can't remember if it have a Zeta Reticuli ridges on their head. So it could have been one of the other. I honestly can't remember.
How many of them together? They needed, guess they
Just
needed a
one.
lot to get you.
Just one. I can't remember if there was more. Just one for sure.
One gray and one ICC, and then one, what was the name of that? Veticulin?
Zeta Reticuli. I only saw the
One of
one. I didn't
each?
see any.
One of each?
No, just like one total. I didn't see any teams or anything that came in.
And did they take you physically or did they take you your soul consciousness?
Uh, I I thought it was just the latter, but well, all the signs are pointing. They must have just taken me up for 20 years and then sent me back.
And so did you go in your body? Did you say they took you in your body, your 9-year-old body?
Yep.
Wow. That's incredible. Because so many people, they take their consciousness in the body. So where did they take you?
Um, from what I could gather, LOC, the what Johann Fritz basically described as the waiting room.
The waiting room in which planet or galaxy or timeline?
Oh, the moon here. I'm not sure which timeline. All I
You're
remember
so
is
funny.
being
You
brought in
say things
there.
that are like so extraordinary. Like it was, yeah, and I brushed my teeth and I had it's like, okay, so it was on the moon. You were taken to the moon.
All I remember from that was they sat me in a chair, and next thing I know, the person behind the mirror was on fire. I guess
The
that's when
what?
I figured out who was who.
Who was on fire?
The person testing me for psionic abilities.
Was on fire.
All I remember there was that mirror, and the another person behind that mirror. I remember increasing the voices in their head or something. Then all of a sudden they caught on fire, and then after that they decided to pull the plug and say that was enough testing for me. Not sure what happened after, but I was probably knocked out.
How were they testing you? Were they testing like regular MK Ultra or how did they test you?
Just seeing what I do. I I honestly have no idea. I'm still trying to recollect all of it.
Okay. And then were you put through MK Ultra trauma-based mind control?
I went for the training for it, yeah, because another person, Luka Novak, he described this arena on the moon where basically all of his kids were forced to fight each other in it. And I remember being handed Draco trimagnetic blades, so basically a knife with uh, magnet like neodymium or something spinning around with three distinct blades, and they're forcing us to send me over to the pit or testing our abilities.
So you were forced to fight to the death with children.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not alone, as you know, a lot of other survivors have um, experienced the same cruelty and trauma. It's part of disassociating you, correct? Splitting your mind. How many alters did they create in you because of the trauma they created?
I've counted at least four, but there's also supposedly hundreds, if not thousands, of clones of me out there. I thought it was only up to 4 dozen, but that might be 4 dozen with Kruger that might be in service. I have no idea. I've
So you
managed
were
to.
you were gone from your house from age 9 to what?
Well, they took me from 9 to 29 and then sent me back. So that's still at least 20 years.
What did your parents think, or your mother and your guardians? What happened? Because sometimes the kids' bodies are still there, like Donald Marshall is taken constantly, but his body was still in the bed.
I still have no idea. Like, I don't even talk to my own family about it.
Ah. Well, what did they've never talked to you about why you disappeared or what happened?
No, I don't think they even know. Or if they do, they haven't said anything.
They didn't notice you were gone from your room?
Well, they could have just taken me, then sent me back 5 seconds later, but
Oh,
I
right,
was
right.
actually
That's
gone for
right.
2 years.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Explain to the audience that they we have the capability to take someone for 20 years, or they do, and return them, but it only seems like a few seconds. So the parents don't even notice. Okay, yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that. And that happens a lot in 20 and back, right?
And like I said, I don't even talk to my own family about it, especially because the German side of the family haven't really got along with them ever. But they probably have figured out by now that I'm on to what actually happened with my great Opa and the entire family.
So one of your first assignments and continuously was with Waffen, Night Fleet, a German ship. Is that correct?
Um, I'm not sure about the secondaries other than two of my alters. One of them did start off in, I think, Shoreline or something, like one of the security contractors up there. It wasn't Kruger, it was Shoreline for that one. And then they went to Knockwaffen. As for Matthias, the main one that talks to me, they start off as an ICC sentry, and that's eventually when they landed in Knockwaffen proper from the conscription phase into the officer program later on.
So you were an officer for them, or are still.
Uh, one of my alters, I guess he moved high enough and then moved on to Kruger. That's the one where the ACIO confirmed that one. And then Matthias, currently, I think it used to be like when I talked about with James Rank before he passed away a couple years ago. I was listed as coded for re-entry, but apparently got updated to too dangerous to reanimate.
You were too dangerous? I think a lot of us can
I
see that in your eyes. The picture I use for the ad, you look at your eye, like several people have spoken to me about it before I started, like, wow, his eyes are incredibly intense. So you were too dangerous for what?
too dangerous to reanimate. I guess they have me in stasis up there, but of course, a lot came back whenever I died,
What were
or
your
maybe it
duties?
wasn't enough shielding or something.
Oh, wow. So one of your alters died and you were too dangerous to reanimate.
Yeah,
Oh, we're glad you're still with us. What were your duties as a not Waffen soldier, and where did you serve, on what planets and in what wars, and what did you do? What was it like?
Matthias wise, I guess border control, searches. We had to intercept ships. Um, then there was combat duties when I was an officer, but before that, I was a maintenance technician on Ibis, and they had me doing all sorts of stuff. I can't remember the exact list, but they kept on moving me every once in a while. just so I wouldn't get too comfy.
What does combat look like, feel like? Who are you combating? Who are you fighting? And what weapons do you have?
Um, Pretty much all the above, but weapons wise, I mostly have ballistics and malee. Uh, I didn't really take too much to plasma, except for the plasma blades, but I guess explosives and fire were definitely ones I made up for it.
Plasma and what else?
Fire, like flamethrowers, or
You you'd,
Flammenwaffen as
you'd
the German
throw
call it.
flames like what from your hand, or did you have like a thing? Did you create fire?
Uh, yeah, not so much for psionics. That one was mostly for weapons.
And who were you fighting?
Like all all the above. I mean, Rogue Sakaar, Rogue Draco, uh, miitary, like before they cut me off. Yellow jackets. So basically, these 7 to 8 foot tall hornets. Um, I mean, it was all over the place, really.
So you're talking about Draco, everything from Draco reptilians to 8 foot tall hornets and everything in between.
Yeah.
Were you on the ship or were you on an off-world German colony for the most part?
New Atlantis and Titan were probably the ones I was at the most. Series, I was also at occasional colonies. I didn't have a specific ship I was based off of. They just sent me wherever they needed me. I was lucky to get a shuttle maybe once in a while, but that was it.
A show?
Like a shuttlecraft.
Oh, a shuttle. So you lived off the earth for most of your life. Part of
Yeah.
you, anyway. Yeah, your soul consciousness. And Waffen is Nazi, correct? Or no?
Uh, no, technically yes, but they have been trying to get away from that image for a while. I guess preparing for disclosure, possibly. But anything solar system or Alpha Centauri, they still have a swastika all over their buildings, all over their halls. It's probably the rest of Das Bundes, the German breakaway that is trying to get rid of that image, but you can still see it all over the place. They just get rid of it out of public view.
So why did you have to fight all these beings and reptiles and what was going on? Like, why did you have to defend Waffen? I know you weren't, it wasn't your personal choice. You were essentially a slave to them, I'm guessing, a soldier. Um, what was so controversial? Why were there so many wars with Waffen?
It was mostly skirmishes. Wasn't necessarily wars, except for the miitary. That one was definitely a war. But like the Yellow Jackets, for example, it was a skirmish, or more so an infiltration, because I had to get sent in order to disable the hive, and I managed to make it in about 2/3 of the way, and then that's when I ran into one of them under cloak, accidentally brushed against their wing or something, and then they have this. I mean, where you can see their eyes wide open, their antennae just go around in circles. Got impaled by it, and after that, I just don't remember what happened after that. But that one was mostly a skirmish and infiltration, like a mission just to knock the hive out of the combat theater, whatever it's called. But like that was one mission. Then Rogue Sakaar was another one. We had to go down to this former Lyran colony to retrieve people who weren't supposed to be down there. that one I had command of Kruger squads, and that's how I did that one. We were supposed to get rid of the rogue Sakaar, the Bloodhounds down there, and retrieve the people, and we did. Kruger wasn't happy about that, but Knockwaffen seemed fine.
Is it the same Kruger we have on the Earth? The store, the Kruger stores, it's the same German family.
Uh, not like Kroger. It's just Kruger.
Kruger,
Uh,
okay. Can you explain Project Ibis?
um, Ibis. That one was to basically turn people into the ancient gods. Uh, like the thing was, I was in Ibis Feta Echo 4C. It was a sub program, but I still don't know the exacts of that program. Like there's still the initial Ibis kids, but there's also other layers to it. I could have been one of the programs beneath that.
And I know John Whitberg was in the same program, and he was was it an Egyptian? I can't remember. He was turned into one of the deities, and what were your consciousness transferred into?
Uh, like I know a cat being, but I don't remember like a god or anything. But
Oh,
I
you
do
were a
remember,
cat being,
yeah,
like maybe one
where
of the Egyptian cat people.
probably where and yeah,
And what did was it our military? Was it the US military, the IBIS program?
NORAD. So basically, both Canada and United States, plus people
And
from MI6.
and what did they use you for once they got your consciousness into this deity?
Honestly, I'm not sure what they had me doing, but I came back. Like I still have school records and health records. For some reason, I was able to pull out of the archives, and it basically showed me going to daycares, like biting kids and screaming, and I mean swear words that I shouldn't know when I'm 3 years old. I mean, there was all sorts of stuff that came up right after I came back. I didn't necessarily exist before that.
Um, how much does NASA disclose to us? From 1 to 100, are we like kindergartners? They show little things, and is that about it?
0.1.
That's what I was thinking since I've talked to so many super soldiers and secret space program. Like we're like little kindergartners, and they're showing us like a little apple, and that's the sun, and that's all there is in the world, and no one's there. And but how many planets do you think are actually populated by living beings? Or can you even estimate?
Everything but the gas giants, pretty much. And even then, the
Thousand,
gas giants have their
millions,
colonies
millions of
anyway.
planets, or thousands?
Like across the universe, or just like the Germans and Japanese.
Let's say German, Japanese, USA, and then also across the universe. How many?
Across the universe, infinite, galaxy wise, I'd say at least 2,000 planets with the Germans. Japanese, of course. They could Japanese and YNK can freely travel and operate commerce, all that in the German breakaway. So that's easily 2,000 for them too. I mean, they might
Different
have separate
planets.
Japanese and worlds, but
And what are the Japanese doing on all these planets? In a nutshell,
same thing as with Germans, basically commerce. They have their own military, so that will be mostly based around Triton, the moon of Neptune in our solar system. But they same thing. Germans with commerce, building ships, corporations.
Mining, war, farming. I've heard this. I heard Chiquita bananas somewhere out there. They're farming out there too, right? They're creating crops.
Oh yeah, Mondelez is definitely out there. Mondelez is the same company behind whatchamacallit, Del Mar or Del Monte.
Del Monte, yeah. Are we receiving food from off planet? Are they portaling it in here? No.
Oh no.
Does it go out? It goes out from us, from the Earth to other planets. Is that right?
Uh, used to, yeah. I'm not sure about right now, but to Mars, yes, but anything beyond the blockade, I'm not exactly sure. But even then, they have replicators and stuff now, so it's probably just luxury goods at this point.
To the elite?
Yeah.
Yeah, not the regular people. What elite are out there living in grand style and mansions and whatnot? Can you name anyone or
Um. Uh. Can't remember his name right offhand, but anyone associated with the ICC, Lockheed Skunk Works, they're definitely guaranteed to be off world. I mean, there's also former German officers from the Second World War that are have also turned to colony leaders, and industrialists, scientists.
do you have any names, or is it the people that are famous here are generally the ones that get to go off world, correct? I know Angelina Jolie is like a president in some planet. I think John Whitberg said that.
Um, Off world, I know Carl Sagan's out there. Unfortunately, he's turned quite the nihilist since he left, but he's out there.
Is Trump out there? Does he travel out there, or is he just
I haven't seen him out there.
yeah? And can you talk a little bit about something that's really fascinating is food replicator? We were told, oh, Star Trek, that's crazy. That could never happen. You remember, I was fascinated, like Star Trek, you'd put in whatever and it came out. And you were talking with Julia, like a six pack of beer could be turned into 30 days of food. So
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. I especially like that we could shut down slaughterhouses. Like slaughterhouses are hell on earth.
yeah. And the only thing is, the food industry will collapse overnight.
You did mention that. I mean, it is kind of collapsing now as we're finding this a lot of human meat in the system. And, people are going through grocery stores now, like on YouTube and TikTok, and they're showing like all the chemicals and all the poison and like we're this there's maybe 20% of the things in the grocery store it isn't poison. So and the Epstein files are showing there's a lot of human meat, and we know that, like, I know, or you probably know, pig farms are in the United States at least are often owned by Satanists throughout the United States, and they feed sacrifice children to the pigs. So the worst thing on the planet you can be eating is pigs right now. But it sort of feels like the plus Bill Gates and Monsanto and GMO, it feels like our food system is sort of falling apart already.
Yeah. All the thing is that no one wants a vertical farm. No one wants to replicate food. No one grows algae from the sea in order to make burgers or other things. I mean, there's things that have existed that could replace it, but they just refuse to have anyone switch over. They just make too much money off of it.
Yeah. It's like oil and coal and all that. Like, did we had free energy in Tartaria? I mean, we've had it throughout, on and off throughout our history. But they keep, dissolving it. So we have to go back to coal and oil and all that, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have, you know, the problems on the earth they're creating for us, slavery and cancer and all of that. I wanted to ask you about this moon. It's Ganymede. Is that how you say it?
Ganymede, yeah.
Yeah, that was in your bio. And can you tell me a little bit about that moon, where it is, and what you did on it or what you do on it when if your soul consciousness is still
Well,
taken?
Ganymede is, I think, a moon of Jupiter. But the thing is, I wasn't really on Ganymede or Europa. I was mostly on Titan or Iapetus in Saturn's moons, but I wasn't really on Jupiter's. But Ganymede, if I remember correctly, does have a lot of industrial capacity, and it is one of the homes of Gabriel Tiberius Kruger.
Mm. What about our moon? Is it mostly German colonies or what's going on there now? Do you have any idea?
Uh,
Idea?
Military, yes. Colonies, not really. There's too much alien interference from the rest of the moon.
Too much what influence?
Alien interference,
Oh,
like
alien.
diplomatic.
Like what kind of aliens?
Uh, well, Draco for sure. That's how the Germans rented their space. Um, Thin green ones, 6 to 7 feet tall. Normalize though. Can't remember what they do, but I think they're they're on the northwest border of either trapezoid or LOC limited two.
My daughter has a question for you. She's your age. She's 29, and she is getting back all her super soldier memories. And she has a trauma twin that's stationed on one of the moons. He is Dante is his name, and she's gone through portals when they were both children because she could tell when he was being tortured, and she's left and gone and come back. And they're in communication, and he's in a little bit of communication with me, but mostly with her. And with her remote view, she sees them on. She thinks a moon with caves, and he's sort of sitting there with a gun. But she's like, if Riley can't, well, if Riley can be here, why can't Dante? She wants him on the earth, but he's got this assignment. And I said, well, they probably are, different roles. And the deep state's watching every super soldier. Um, so
Yep.
will he ever be able, she wants to be with him. Will they ever be reunited, or how does that work?
Um. Well, I know there's a blockade just 60 million kilometers off series of as far as I know, there's at least 12 to 15 carrier battle groups of the Germans, and at
Can you
least a few of the
repeat that?
Japanese.
Carrier what?
Sorry, carrier battle groups,
Carrier. What's a carrier battle group?
like an aircraft carrier, but of
Okay, air
fighters.
carrier. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's
Aircraft
not.
carrier. Okay.
And because we're only 60 million kilometers away, technically they could intervene, but for whatever reason, they still haven't intervened yet. When that happens, they probably are gonna come down here and probably knock on my door, asking me a few questions and all that. But for going out there, I'm not too sure how to do that, or even for the astral. or through a soul fragment, quantum. That's how I get mine, but that's about it.
Yeah, she's gone, astrally projected through portals to be with him when she was young, a little girl. She's 28 now. They're in communication, but he wants to be here and she wants him to be here. But um, I don't know. I guess maybe when things shift a little, they may allow some of the super soldiers back and um, the Pleiadians. I know um, on the channel, what's it called? Well, she was a Pleiadian walk-in. What's her name? Andrea Martin. Her boyfriend is a Pleiadian, but he's on Earth as a soldier in a base in California, but they will not physically allow him to do so. He will astrally project. She's in Massachusetts, so is my daughter. But um, as far as I don't know what you don't really call it disclosure. Like, when do you think? Like, how do you live with all this information? Like, you have so much. Like who? We all believe you, but on your what's your day-to-day life like? Having, I know it's really, really hard, and maybe you should explain it.
Well, I did have two jobs at one point, but unfortunately, whenever the Kabbalists happen to find out that I have two jobs and actually start making money, that's when they cut one of them.
Yeah.
So they, if it's not fired from a daytime job, it's always laid off. They'll wait until 5 or 6 weeks in, then just lay me off.
Yeah. I'm a targeted individual too, and they do it in so many different ways. Like they can start a rumor, like ruin your reputation. Or I've even gotten a job where they were able to get into the finances and they had my check sent to some arbitrary bank in Florida when I worked for the government for a month. They planted a CIA. They'll mess up your car so you can't get there and you get fired. Like I've heard like some targeted individuals have 60 people during the day and 60 people at night working round the clock to sabotage our lives. Um, and and especially finances, any kind of resource, any kind of people, V2K. I know, do you get V2K at night?
Uh,
Voice
it's
disco.
cut back. It's cut back over the years, but I did get it pretty bad. When I used to have a roommate once.
Yeah, I think I told you I've been taking the herb mugwort, which seems to, now that I'm saying it, they'll find a antidote for my protection, but it's an easily grown herb. It's like a weed, well, a weed, so to speak. And I think it's related to marijuana, but there's mugwort, motherwort, and mugwort, like it does something. I think it will block some of that V2K and their synthetic dreams and all the weird things they try to do to you in your sleep. But clearly you're not getting sleep. And so I'm really grateful, you showed up. I feel bad. I feel really bad for you that you're not sleeping and, life is tough. I don't know what happened to the chat, but I'm going to put your PayPal in the comments below. And so if anyone wants to donate, you're like a veteran of foreign wars with no pension, no disability, no anything. In fact, they're trying to destroy you. I mean, it's not that different from our veterans. If you're an honest veteran that forget it. They're going to try to take them out too.
Yeah, like during the Vietnam War, I mean, there's veterans coming back with basically like heroin stuffed in the bodies, coming back to Americas and getting rich off of all their schemes and stuff that they had overseas. Oh, they get to live in mansions and drive around Rolls Royces and everything, but the rest of us are basically forced to the curb. It's brutal.
You mean the American men coming home, the dead ones, had their bodies stuffed with heroin?
plus other drugs, weapons. I mean, they'd basically loot South Vietnam and Viet Cong dry, and then they'd go over to Laos, Cambodia, all the other places, take whatever they could, send it back, and then sell it on the streets of America in order to get rich.
Were these like the military leaders, the politicians, the elite? They were all had a little bit of take. They were on the take for all the, from these bodies.
Oh yeah, I mean, outside of the main bases in Vietnam, I mean, they had shanty towns running with every illegal service people could possibly dream of, and they're just making money off that too. I mean, unfortunately, the ones who get rich from the wars are always the ones who probably have the least morals, the least ambiguity, the least anything of human decency.
I don't even have words anymore. Like you try to tell people it's never about liberating anyone. That's for damn sure. They're definitely not there to liberate, Iranian women in this case, and they weren't there to liberate. It's just a scam and we keep falling for it. There's some people saying, "Oh, they're just, bombing it because they're they're after we're going to get the Stargate back or something." Like they can take it very esoteric too. I mean, do you have an what do you think of this thing going on in Iran?
When right before Werner von Braun passed away, he mentioned at least 4 to 5 conditions for Germans to come back down here. Two of them were war actions and economic collapse. And this one classifies as a war action, technically, but it hasn't spread far enough yet. There hasn't been more people joining the war or anything for them to intervene. As for economic collapse, I mean, $200, $300 oil would probably do the trick,
Oh.
along with everything else.
So this is a setup to bring the Germans back in part.
Because there would be so much chaos down here, loss of control, entire nations going under, that they might actually take the opportunity to come down here and retrieve whatever they can, whether it be people, technology, materials.
Is Trump, does he understand exactly what he's doing? He's in regards to what you just said, or is he just a puppet?
Uh, I'm not sure about the SSP part, but supposedly for White Royal Draco or the Right Royal Sakar magistrates, they supposedly went to Napoleon and Adolf Hitler when they were in power, trying to get them on board. And I think, yeah, Adolf Hitler actually wrote down he met this being, was completely terrified of the meeting. I guess the Vril or the Fuel Society physically brought him to there and have that meeting. Trump might have undergone the same one, or he might just realize that he might be the linchpin in Armageddon from Revelations and the all that.
So he's working for the Dracos and thus the Nazis to create chaos on Earth to a
Well,
degree.
what I believe is eventually it's going to go into a downward spiral. So eventually they are going to intervene, and he's going to have to give more because he already went down the rabbit hole, so to speak, but he hasn't went far enough yet, and he is going to have to go further and further with the actions that he unleashed or the actions that Cabal unleashed. And there's
Cabal,
not really going to be an easy way out of it.
have you seen down this timeline? I know you're a time traveler.
Um, from what I could gather before, I did have visions of, or maybe come correct for alternate timeline or a parallel, where I was down here when that happened, when the Germans came down. February 2031, sometime in that month of that year, the Russians and the Chinese begin an all-out invasion of North America, from what I could gather.
Did you say 3031?
2031,
Oh, 2031.
like just under 5 years away.
I did have a vision, was maybe a year ago, of these giant ships, German, landing on the East Coast of America. They look like old German ships, the old Nazi,
U-boats.
and it was very clear they were not, it was not friendly ships, and they were coming one right after another and landing on the East Coast of America. And it did seem like, you can tell a regular dream from a prophetic dream and a synthesized holograph, it seemed like a prophetic dream. So that would fit in kind of what you said.
Plus, I mean, Boston has its technology. New York is New York City. Whereas Montauk, Camp Hero, I know the Germans would love to shut that AI down if they actually could. There's the Domes, there's Washington D.C., there's Mount Pleasant, making sure all the sites are secure, factories. Plus, I mean, like 2/3 of the American population live east of the Mississippi, so there's also the population factor too, if I remember correctly.
Will they just come and kill us or enslave us or both?
Uh,
Marry us
well,
if we're German or whatever?
I mean, they'll bring people in the program, send a lot of people to the military. The industrial component, they'll pretty much take out the current workforce, give them advanced training, replace them with basically the what's what term do I even use for that? Okay, pretty much slave labor. Yeah.
Um, what was I just going to ask you about? So what about the so-called Stargate? I mean, there probably is a Stargate there, but I can't see an old pedophile like Trump liberating a Stargate for, you know, for humanity's evolvement. So what is it about Stargate in the Middle East?
I don't know. I really don't
Okay.
know. But the thing is, the British and the Soviets in 1941, they actually invaded Iran to keep them from joining the Axis. I mean, they had countless opportunities to go in and seize these gates and bring them back. So I'm not sure why they couldn't do that in the 1940s when they had control over Iran versus America in 2026.
And it's going to be America that's hit the worst by this invasion in 31.
North America, so Canada as
Canada.
well. Not, yeah.
Things seem really bad in Canada. For some reason, there's a lot of, like, my mother's Canadian. So I have that connection, but she immigrated here. But I have so many people in my life right now, like survivors and people I'm talking to. And they're all from Canada, and it's like things seem really bad there. What do you think?
I mean, in Calgary right now, it's almost impossible to get a reply on a job interview, especially since I'm already targeted. I mean, the only people they hire in Calgary now are pretty much Freemasons, criminal convictions, surprisingly enough, and basically temporary foreign workers. Those three.
I mean, we're
Technically,
sort of headed in that direction with ICE. The criminals love other criminals, and so they're going to be taking over. And we're seeing it with ICE. Those are thugs, that I've heard. And they're becoming our Gestapo, I feel like. They always usher those takeovers under helping us and for our security and to protect us from illegal, but that's how they work. It's the Trojan horse that they've been doing to us for hundreds of years, and people aren't even catching on. So it's depressing. Like, oh no, they're just here. If you're a true American, you like ICE. So they've got people so mind controlled, you can't even really
That's
debate
the
with
other
them.
thing too. Like after I got after all that COVID stuff happened, I never got vaxxed. And once that word went out, all of a sudden that's when I started losing jobs. That's when the family cut me off. That's when friends cut me off. And
Oh
I've had a
yeah,
lot of
I
job
mean,
losses and stuff because of the
yeah,
pandemic.
it was bad here too. I don't know if it was as bad. Of course I didn't get it either. But people could get in prison and jail. They couldn't get, medical care. There was so many different ways they manipulate, single moms who were nurses got it. I knew a nurse that got it and she knew it was going to kill her. She said she had to take it anyway to feed her kids. Um, and it's completely out in the open now. CDC has said, they've admitted they didn't know what they were doing basically. And it was a depopulation agenda and fertility. They've made a lot of women infertile and
Well, not only
killed.
that, they wanted to, with whatever concoction they use with those vaccines, a lot of the super soldier stock that the Germans would use, basically the blonde hair, blue eye types, a lot of people like that started dropping out of nowhere like flies. One of the main things of that vaccine is that if it hits a super soldier like myself, with all the Arasaka implants and everything else already in my system, I don't even know the full list of what's in my system right now. I mean, those implants were also designed that the Arasaka would also shut off on the spot, same with all the other organs and everything else, trying to combat it. So
So
they
they were
also
going
want
to
to,
go ahead.
yeah, they were pretty much trying to also use it to shut off anyone who might be a super soldier down here as well.
Yeah, it's kind of bleak. I'm an optimistic person, which is, bizarre since my life, but it doesn't look good right now. Would you prefer to be here or you prefer to be where you are? Would you like to be in US or is it work?
Uh, the thing is with Alberta, it is an oil-rich province, but the thing is, America. Well, because of politicians in Ottawa, there's no new pipelines or anything. There's nothing going from the west to the east of Canada in terms of oil. Alberta is an oil-rich province, undoubtedly, but the thing is, without anywhere to export that oil or someone else taking the piece of the pie, I mean, there's not going to be much economic opportunity here. However, because of the precedent of what the orange haired man overseas has done, eventually they might come up here and take that oil and all the resources for themselves, especially to cut off Saudi Arabia and having to import oil from all over the place and we can just get it right across the border. If there's any US military intervention or CIA ops up here, it likely is going to be for Canada and Alberta to get that oil and stuff on board. Because once you don't have to import all that oil, then the U.S. would have enough oil to last at least another few decades at the very least.
But will it go to the people or, they're already hoarding and, you know, for the elite? Do you think that we'll all get it or it'll just be the big corporations and whatnot?
I mean, they might hire more white collar workers, maybe more oil technicians and people on the derricks, but like the trickle down effect, I don't see it anymore. As I see people in Rolls Royces and Maseratis going up and down the streets of Calgary. I mean, well, at the same time, you also have to see people going to the dumpster outside of McDonald's trying to find something to eat while the franchise owner is loading off crates of like burgers and stuff into his restaurant in downtown. I mean, absolutely surreal.
Yeah, and the maid is operational there too. Like you can get in a lethal injection legally now and kill yourself if you're upset or anything. Is that true? The maid program?
Yep. But the no thing about that with a maid, sometimes the souls get intercepted by Waffen and all these breakaway programs too. So the Cabal think they might be getting rid of a problem, but those same people are going to the SSPs and the breakaways. They come through with all that knowledge and everything else of what they're down there for. So basically, the Germans and the Japanese and the ICC, they get armies and workforces for free whenever the Cabal is screwing up so hard.
Are you
Same
saying
with
the
the
people that die become SSP? Their soul consciousness transfers into SSP?
into the SSP, but sometimes they'll go to the military, sometimes they'll go into the
Okay.
civilian route as colonists.
Oh my God, that is so bizarre. So they're grabbing the souls right away?
Yeah.
And
Well, if they can sometimes.
because they're going the way they're going, they know it's going to happen, so they can be there and grab the consciousness rather as an accident. They may not be there to, because if there's a lethal injection, it's 2 p.m., October 2nd, and they know when it's going to happen, so they can be there to grab the soul. Oh my God. That's freaky. That is so freaky.
Yeah.
So again, would you rather be where you are or the States or another country or
Well, one way or the other, I might just end up in the States, but if I know what's coming is coming, I'm gonna have to find somewhere to go. Because I mean, I try to start a business up here. I can't start a business. I can't get lines of credit. I can't find anyone who wants to work with me either, because I'm also assuming that a lot of the people for the small business stuff might be Cabalists, just waiting to intercept like handlers coming in to smash everything and then blame it on me.
do you have a place to live?
Oh yeah,
Okay, good. Is that it where you are?
oh yeah,
So you have a home and you have a job, one job now.
oh yeah.
Okay. And you don't have any family there, huh?
I do, but they don't really talk to me, especially since they found out I never got vaccinated.
Oh my God, I don't even have words. Yeah. Yeah. You're not alone. There's thousands, maybe millions of us that their family
Plus,
stopped talking to them.
I did dig deep into family history. I mean, I found out that out of my great opa, he did have siblings that weren't mentioned anywhere in the family tree, family archives. And those same ones came up on the death roster of Bundes archive, the German archives, or I think German grave search. I can't remember the exact German translation of that one, but basically, out of the entire family from Silesia when the Soviets showed up, only my great opa, my great great opa, his dad, and I think one of his brothers managed to make it back alive. The rest all died. And they covered it up. No records, no trace, no photos, nothing. And if there is any, it's either in Warsaw somewhere where the Polish don't want to release it to the German families, or it's in the NKVD archives in Moscow, which of course no one's going to get access for a while yet.
Mm. Um, are there any wars off planet now that are affecting us on the Earth? And is it still true that they tell everyone off Earth that the Earth exploded, or the servants or the slaves? Do they tell them Earth exploded?
Cobalt bombs, Cuban Missile Crisis is one, 1983, that one's another one. It depends on timeline and universe, but
Yeah.
the one the one I did get was, yeah, I think Cobalt Bomb, but Cuban Missile Crisis also comes up here and there. So they sometimes fudge around and fiddle around for dates.
What's going on with the nuclear bombs? Is anybody going to do that, or is that just a constant threat that Trump is throwing around? Is he
He
allowed to
could,
even do that?
but that would trigger an AT intervention. If it's not the Draco, it's going to be the Germans that intervene instead.
And they don't want that.
Nope.
Well, that's something good anyway that we've discovered that if I don't know if it's yeah, I guess it controls these psychopathic leaders to a degree that if they go ballistic and press the button, there's going to be a German intervention from off world.
Well, not only that, the technology is so advanced now. I mean, all they have to do is park one pumpkin seed outside of each U.S. Air Force missile field. So the ones in North Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, one pumpkin seed can intercept all those missiles right on the spot. So they couldn't fire or launch any of them. Same with the Polaris submarines and all the other things.
You don't mean a real pumpkin seed.
Uh,
Are
so a
you
pumpkin
using a
seed
metaphor?
is shaped like a pumpkin seed, so 600 by 200 meters.
And what they're defense weapons?
Oh no, just general purpose ships. Sometimes they're
Okay.
outfitted for attack. Sometimes just cargo transfer, people transfer.
Was there anything else you wanted to say? I know you have to be at work and maybe you want to rest for a minute. We've been on an hour. I'm going to put your PayPal in the comments underneath. I don't know if anyone's here. I have to figure that what went wrong, but I've wanted to talk to you for a long time. So thank you so much. I know it's hard. I know you don't sleep that well. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Well, I mean, just going for a lot like right now, but I mean, every donation helps, especially with the conversion transfer. I mean, a dollar, a dollar, no, one American dollar equals $1.35, $1.40 Canadian. So even like
40?
$10.
So 10
No,
American
one
dollars
dollar.
equals 40?
Oh no, $1.40.
Okay, so almost double though, like a dollar and a half almost. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so $10 would be like 15 for you. Okay. All right. And PayPal that I have here, Hair Klein is the best one.
Oh yeah, it's the only one I have.
Okay. Um, Thank you so much. You're such a a rich reservoir of information. I feel like you sort of skim the top, but I learned a lot, and anybody else that watches this and I'm just thinking of everything you've said. It's kind of mind blowing. I'm still stuck back in the Vietnam with the bodies coming home, and they make such an ordeal. Oh, the caskets draped and the drumming and the everything. Meanwhile, they're all stuffed with, and American men should listen to this because you're going to be treated like shit going there and coming back. You're just a slab of meat.
Because
Anyway,
eastern border region of Iran, that's where all the opium is grown for the world anyway too. So it probably is a rinse and repeat even.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's just the
they could
scary
start
part.
wars just to make bodies, to send drugs home and create orphans that could be sex trafficked in or anyway. Thank you. I hope we can talk again. I'm gonna send you some money myself and maybe some Reiki. I don't know if you want Reiki healing some people, some healing sometime.
Yeah, yeah, I could use
Okay.
Reiki.
Yeah. Um, Thank you. And I hope I think this went well, except for the chat. And I hope you get some rest before you got to get on the bus.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Okay. Let me see. How do I leave? Uh,
Bottom right, I think.
yeah. Live is a little different. I don't necessarily have to record it because it's already on there on the channel. Okay. Thank you.